Hey everybody, how's it going? Friday
Hey.
afternoon. We got a special one today with somebody who I haven't been on a show with in a long time. Friday
Hey.
afternoon. I'm behind.
We
I'm
got
kinda
a
behind.
special one today with
We get some echo
somebody
here.
who I haven't been on a show
Me
with in
too.
a long time. Friday afternoon. I'm behind.
We got
Is it you or me?
today with
We get some echo
Somebody
here.
who I haven't been on a show with in a long time. Friday afternoon. Same old, same old. It's you. On a show with in a long time. Friday afternoon. Wow. You know, we've been doing this for about 4 years now. I don't know, dude. Is it better? Jump out and jump back in. Okay, so it's just me. Cool new show. You know, when I'm sure when Jason and Steve comes back, I started this channel and I was like, all right, we'll do modeling and we'll do found parts. I wasn't collecting found parts, but I realized the interest in it and the value in it and how much people liked it. And, you know, it's another aspect of collecting that people love. And it's a lot more than just statues and hot toys and stuff. It's more the history of Star Wars and going back and seeing how they made things and what they used to make things, which makes it very interesting.
It was me.
It was you, yes, I
Yeah,
know.
I had
Yeah.
I had it playing on YouTube at the same time. That's what
Oh,
happened. I
you
had
know, we have done this show before, right?
well, but it's been a few months for me, so you can. That was
It's
my fault.
it has been a little while, yes.
That was my fault. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. So I was saying, found parts is not something that I was. I mean, like I said, I've told you probably a bunch of times. I'm interested in it, but I just was like thinking to myself, if I start this collecting, I'll go crazy like I usually do. I just know myself. As soon as I get involved in something, I want to soak it all in.
Yeah,
you know?
you're freaking out of control.
Yeah.
I'm at this place. I'm looking at this. Should I buy it? What should I get? This? Should I get that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I got to get this soon because Chris is going to buy it, right?
That's true also, because
Yeah.
damn it, you started doing something that I wanted to start putting together.
What was that?
The Hoth scanner.
Oh, that was something that was kicking around in my brain for like a year. It was the one thing I was thinking to myself, that out of anything I'd want to build, just because I love ESB, I love Hoth, anything to do with Hoth, you know, AT-ATs and snowtroopers and AT-AT drivers and Veers, you know. But I looked at the soap dispensers a long time ago and I thought, all right, you know. And even I think Jason got me a couple pieces like of the machined pieces that are needed that aren't known. And I was like, listen, then I decided, you know what? I better not. It's another thing I don't need to spend money on. So what was it that brought me back in?
Jawa Blaster?
No, it was the headphones for the
Oh yeah.
Death Star.
That was
Navy
another
officer.
thing. That was another thing I was interested in getting.
Well, that sat on Facebook for a while, and I looked at it, and I'm like, you know what? It's only $150. What the hell? Why not? And it was a really cool box and a really cool, you know. I thought, well, I had the helmet for free from I got it as I won it as a prize for some hyperdrive contest that I didn't know it was a contest, and the helmet really never. It was cool, but it was never like. It was just a black helmet on a black mannequin head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually at the bottom of my shelf. And I'm like, all right, it's nice, but nothing thrilled me about it. So as soon as I put those headphones on, holy shit, it's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, it adds a lot to it. Yeah.
It's night and day. It's now on top shelf. So, you know, like, you know how it is. Stuff on the bottom shelf is cool, but not great.
Yeah, when I was getting some pictures for you, I was taking pictures of all my found parts stuff, and everything was on the top shelves.
Yeah.
All my found parts stuff was all on the top shelves. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
But like you've been actually getting into found parts for a little bit now.
Oh, yeah, I've been for 3-4 years.
Oh, really? That long?
Yeah, for a while.
Okay. So before anybody, before we get too far, like I'm just going to put this out there. I know nothing. I really don't. I'm not going to profess to know a damn thing when it comes to found parts. I'm learning new things every day. And even like looking at the Haas scanner, which has been what I've been looking at the most, I still can't make heads or tails of those damn antennas. Like I just,
Hmm.
it boggles my mind right now.
Hmm.
But, knowing me, I will research it till smoke's coming out of my ears and my wife's yelling at me to get off the phone in bed because she wants to go to bed. Not anything else. She wants to go to bed.
Hmm.
But that's what'll happen. Like I'll dive in deep and I'll want to know everything. But like I said before, you have always said you want a collection that people don't have. You've always said that. I mean, I think I'm sure other people have said it first, but you're the first person I've actually heard say that out loud in my, on the shows when we were on them.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to look at what I have already.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And most collections have a lot of the same stuff, and even our collections for the longest time had the same stuff. Okay. And, I got into models, you got into these found parts, right? And models is my number one thing. Building models, researching models. It's my number one thing. But the one day I was down here and I'm looking and I'm like, you know what? Every single person has these hot toys. Every single person has these statues. Every single, not a lot of people have these models. Almost even less people have the vintage stuff behind me, I just don't want something that's mass produced. Open it in a box and stick it on my shelf and just say, oh, that's a cool head sculpt. That's just not what I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then there's after a while with the hot toys, and I don't want to set anybody off, but after a while, you can't help but feel the toy aspect of the whole thing. It just feels like
Hot toys, yeah.
Yeah, the toy thing just starts to grow on you after a while, after when you put it up next to a Regal Robot Rancor or some cat or something, and parts, and it just after a while you're just like, I want to focus on the real deal.
Don't get me wrong, hot toys are a good entry drug.
Listen, if there was anybody who had a lot of hot toys, I'm the guy. I had 100. I think I had 150 at one point. So
yeah. And probably 100 pre-orders on the way too, right?
Yeah. I think at one point I had 40 pre-orders of hot toys. So
right. Yeah.
So no, I was not trying to offend anybody. Please.
For me, it was when I got. No, don't get me wrong. I like my Marvel hot toys. I really do, because a lot of them were bought for me by my wife, which she don't buy me this stuff, but she bought me those. And like you can't get a lot of different Marvel collectibles, but it was when I had Gamora, and the hair was all messed up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like fixing the hair. Just like,
yeah,
my
Black
wife
Widow
walks
from Infinity War, the blonde hair. Oh,
yeah.
The short blonde hair was just atrocious. Yeah.
If my wife walks down and sees me fixing the hair of some doll, she's gonna lose a lot of attraction, So it was just, that was kind of it for me. But then like the other day when, like I said, I was looking at those headphones and I came down, I was like, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of money to spend on found parts. but I have a lot of things I can sell to get my found parts, right? Which we've all done. You've done many times. I've
Mhm.
done many times. Not as much as you,
Hmm.
but you've done wholesale gutting.
And when you were first starting to collect higher end stuff, you would not sell your stuff. You would
No.
not sell your own stuff. Like all those, was it Funkos? Was it? Did you have a bunch of Funkos?
No,
What did you have?
no. I had
General.
Hasbro.
Was it General?
Hasbro. I did have some General Giant
Maybe
busts.
it was the General Giant stuff that
Yes.
you would not sell.
That was it. That was what. And then Matt
Yeah.
kept pressing me. He's like, dude, you got to get these RS helmets. Like, well, first it was on Novos, the Novos helmets. And that didn't really tip me. But when I started seeing RS and their helmets, that was when I was like, you know what? I want those more than I want General Giant busts.
So,
Yeah.
so in the chat, Rebel Spy says instead of combing the hair of Hot Toys, we're futzing life-size Chewbacca busts.
I'm
This is-
fluffing. I fluff his hair every now and then. Don't get
This
me
is-
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that you were fluffing his hair.
Yeah, that's Parminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a comb. I think it came with a special comb, didn't it?
It did.
It came
did.
with a special comb.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Regal Robot, are you getting the big Wampa?
Oh, fuck me. So I saw it and I said, I'm not going to get it.
That's what you said about Tauntaun too.
I say that about 75% of the fucking shit that comes out from him.
Right.
Damn it.
Yeah.
And I say fucking shit in the best way.
And gold-plated shit. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. Cool. I don't have to get this thing. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
And then just wore on me and wore on me and wore on me. And I'm like, oh, well, if I sell this and I sell this,
It always happens.
oh, I could do it. So yeah, I think I'm going to wind up getting it.
There's no doubt. There's just no doubt.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. Looks really, really good.
But going back to, like the found parts thing, like I've been doing the models, right? And I'm, it's never going to change. It's something I love to do. But I always knew that if I started found parts, I would, probably spend too much money. But in all honesty, I think I'm going to do pretty good. Okay. Because there's really only like 4 or 5 things that I like. I don't want to get in the blaster. Like, okay, take that back. I do want a couple, like 1 or 2, but I don't want all the hilts. Like the hilts is a whole nother just pool to jump into. Right. And I don't want to do that. I want to it really boils down to a few certain things that I'm really interested in. And I think I'll be okay. I think once I get those couple, I can free focus back on just doing the models. Right. Yeah. Look at that. Once in a lifetime opportunity. He's an old schooler. Who's Infinite Monkey? Because he was around back in the Rogue One days.
That's me.
That's you. Oh, okay. I thought it was Infinite Monkey. I thought that was you.
That's my non-Rogue One.
Yeah.
But Aaron is talking, or should I say, Ron is talking about a wall-mounted Wampa.
Yeah.
Is that a rumor that's going around? Is that?
Oh yeah, you didn't watch the video? He showed the horn.
Oh fuck, he's doing it. Oh, it's a good thing somebody told me. I watched look.
Yeah.
It's like 50 minutes long, this video. I'm like, how long can I stare at this Wampa talking myself into buying this thing? Right. So I watched the first 10 minutes and I'm like, all right, enough. And I left.
Right.
So you tell me that he's got
Yes. Go watch. It's life size.
Look, guys.
Actually, take it back. It's bigger than life size because he's apparently going bigger than the man-sized one that was in the movie. He's going to proportion it to the size of the Tauntaun, I think.
That's going to be
a little bigger than that.
That's going to be $8,000 easy.
Oh yeah.
Easy $8,000.
Probably more.
I don't. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, you can say that now, but I don't believe you.
$8,000, man. I don't know what I'm going to have to do for that.
Well, how much was the Tauntaun?
7,
right?
Something
7, 5.
Yeah, but that was That's when I had Hot Toys to sell. I don't have Hot Toys to
Yeah.
sell anymore.
The currency runs out eventually, right? Yeah. I'm almost at that point because I won't ever sell any of this stuff. And I'm getting to the point where I don't have any much else I want to sell.
Wait, quoted 45 to 55. Well, that's a bargain.
No way. Can't be.
That's a bargain. That's easily doable.
That's Chewy priced.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I hear that, it might be better off just waiting to get the. That's what I did with the. And I know we're going off topic, so
We are completely off topic here.
That's what I did with the Rancor, right? He was doing the Rancor maquette, but I'm like, look, I have the full-fledged.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go get the concept maquette also? I'm like,
yeah,
since it was so similar, like
it's very similar.
Nah,
and I think it's pretty close in price too, right?
That's an example where I said no and I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's an easy one to say no to for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay.
But back on found parts.
Yes.
Right. So this is a section of collecting that has a whole nother, there's a studio scale community, there's the hot toy community. This has its own community as well, like its own people who just focus on this, right? And as far as I can tell, it's a little more inviting than, say, studio scale communities a little bit. It seems like people are less inclined to withhold information and are more willing to share information. I'm sure there's still some that
I would say yes generally, but
the
thing is, when people and this is probably true about model making too, right? But
yes, it is.
When somebody discovers what a part is,
yeah,
the first thing they do is they go buy them all up.
Yes.
And exactly. then they let people know.
Right. Listen, it makes sense. I don't blame anybody for that whatsoever. I mean, look at the days of Rogue One. How many times did we not talk about something, a statue, because if we did, everybody would go out and buy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually talked to somebody today who, I had been conversing with before, and I talked to them about that as well. And they're like, oh, I don't know if it's a good idea to start talking about, found parts. And it's valid. It's valid that it's possible that I don't think you and I talking about it right now, will jack up any prices on pieces. You never know. But
when we would talk, remember when we were talking about the Hot Toys? Was it Snow Troopers? What was it?
Yeah, that was you and the Snow Troopers. You're the main culprit for the increase of the price of the Snow Troopers,
which is so bullshit because I had like one.
Yeah, but you ended up with 10, right?
No, I had one. But everybody went out and bought it. So yes. Talking about it can raise the price. Yes.
Yeah, I think you are single-handedly responsible for jacking the price up on Snow Troopers.
Which is incredible because I only had one. So
I went and bought 3 right after you. So bought ones before it got too crazy. Yeah. But okay, so go back to found parts, so think about this. Okay, with studio scale models, you have a very limited range. Like if you don't know what something is, like say you don't know what a part is, you pretty much only have a small pool to look through. Okay, there's only so many models, right? And there's only so many manufacturers and so many ships tanks that were used at that time. So if you're dealing with like Sandcrawler, it's going to be a model that's made between around 77, right? And it's just model kits usually. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there any situation like where you're looking at a model and you're trying to figure out what that part is, and it turns out it wasn't from a model kit, it was from something else?
I'm sure there is. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there is. Like Y-Wings, they have this brick, like it's almost like a plastic card that's shaped like bricks. Okay. I don't know what it's called, but that's an example of, it's not a model. It's not a model kit. Has to do with modeling. Like it was made for like walls of houses if you're building dioramas and stuff, but
So
I'm sure there are.
Rebel Spy says legs eggs. So that's a good
Perfect example. Yeah. Legs, eggs. Yeah. Whereas with found parts, you are dealing with so many different world things. It's not just guns. It's not just World War II stuff. It's dishwashers. It's plumbing supplies. It's microphones and cameras and everywhere. Like it's every world part. Like, you know what I mean? It could be anything from a toilet plunger to a jet engine part. It could be anything.
The good thing is that one, it has to be available in England, right?
Mhm,
And two, it's usually from you have a time range that you can draw
Yeah.
from, right?
Yes.
So that helps narrow it down a little bit. But yeah, it could be freaking anything.
But even then, you have the same part, but you also might have certain discrepancies between those parts, right? Like there might be a model that has this slight thing on it or this slight thing.
Oh, yes, with Star Wars, the found parts, it's usually something that's pretty rare, and then it's the rarest in that rare batch.
Yes.
It's
And there's a reason for that, right?
bizarre,
It's not because the Star Wars guys went out and just bought, had the rare things to put on there. It's because most of the stuff was discontinued crap that they just wholesale bought and just right. Am I right? Or
I don't know if it's. I mean, a lot of it is surplus, right? A lot of military surplus. So that, yeah. Oh, are we going to give our disclaimer about not knowing what the hell we're talking about?
I already said it.
You already
said it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said it right before you jumped off because
okay.
I don't want anybody watching this show to think that I have this. I'm not an expert. I have no idea. Like I don't even remember. Like I've been looking at the Haas scanner and the Luke binoculars, and I still can't tell which camera is which and which part goes on where. Like I have no idea, and I'm learning every day. And
Rebel Spy was talking about the RAF stamped Graflex. So I'm wondering if RAF in that case means Royal Air Force. If so, that kind of makes sense, right? Military surplus and all.
Right.
But yeah, that's
right. And like so that makes this finding out parts infinitely harder, right? It just goes without saying. So and I've talked to Jason about this, like, and think about it, like you have stuff you deal with every day, right? Because I don't, you have your work and I have my work.
Yeah.
I'm an electrician, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know the first thing of a plumber part. Okay. I have no idea what plumbing parts or what, and if something comes up that's an electrical part, I'll look at it and say, oh yeah, that's a lock nut or, like a specific kind of lamp or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably how a lot of these parts get found because people who deal with these parts on an everyday basis look at it and say, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. Right. So,
yeah, if you watch like Adam Savage's Tested on YouTube, he has this show every once in a while where he does like the mystery tool, right?
Okay.
He'll be looking at this tool and I have no idea what the hell it is. But all he has to do is show it to his audience. And there's somebody in his audience who works in that particular area, and will know it. Like last week, he did a tool which was for threading carpets, pushing
I know that tool.
Fibers through the bottom of the carpet, right?
Yep.
And he's looking at this thing, he has no idea what the hell it is, but there were like a half dozen people who knew it because they had done that work before. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, he's got infinitely more drawing pool than we do.
Sure does.
Yeah, I think there's 100 some subscribers on my new channel and probably 200 in the Facebook group. So, maybe on Rogue One we could be like, hey, there's 1,000 people. What do you know? But not here. Not yet, anyways. But like what's his name said? Aaron. He said, being in the States makes it even more difficult because we have to, most of the stuff is from the UK. It's not even around here. That is true, but also like it also comes to shipping it to us as well. Like I would love a Hoth binoculars, right? And I could buy one from a guy over in France, but I can't get it shipped here.
What's
that will
the
confiscate it.
what's the limitation on the what's in it that prevents it from
There's
being
some
shipped?
radioactivity laser thing in it that you can't
Yeah.
customs will confiscate it.
Okay.
Apparently.
So like here's another good example. The grenade on Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a bitch to get across borders.
Why?
There's ways to do, because it's a deact it's a firearm piece.
Yeah.
It falls in that area where it's like don't know if you can get it across international borders, and there's a trick to doing it. I'm not going to say it on
Right.
the show, but there's a trick to doing it and being able to get it across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'm just gonna let's just talk about one thing that my first thing I started really buying. This was the first thing. It was the Jawa blaster, right? And I don't know anything about firearms. In fact, I was calling you, asking you questions, right?
Yeah.
And
This is funny. I was going to tell you, hey, pick one up for me, and then I realized, no, that would be illegal.
yeah, it's illegal.
I can't. You're not allowed to buy a firearm with the intent to
No,
give it to somebody else.
right. So, and I didn't know any of the rules. Like, I'm learning all new rules, all
Yeah.
new.
I was laughing. You were asking all these questions in your texts to me.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing to myself because it's all secondhand. It's all second nature to me.
Yeah. And I like, what was it? FFL or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
firearms license, right?
I didn't know if I needed a license to own this. I didn't know, what I needed. Like,
Yeah.
But I found one at a gun show. I was just at a gun show. I was walking around. I'm like, oh, I'll just take a look, see if, maybe I'll come across one. And look, and surprisingly, I did. Okay, I took a picture.
The prop doesn't have the
No,
dummy marking on it, does it?
the stripes.
Yeah, the training
No.
mark. No. Okay.
No, you have to sand those off.
Are you planning on you're going to sand it off?
Yeah, or strip it.
Strip, maybe try to use some, because there's a patina on that whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take it apart. I'm gonna take all the gut.
Right.
The guts out.
I would try to chemically remove it before I sanded it.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to sand out any of the gouges or anything like that. I want it to be authentic. Yeah. And luckily I found these. They were really cheap. I forget, somebody mentioned to me.
Yeah, you're probably, I don't know. This is a guess, but my guess would be when you remove that, however you do, it's going to be so different than the rest of the gun. You're going to want to paint. You're going to want to paint it to try to match.
Well, I think I'm going to restain it.
When I say paint it, what I mean is you're going to want to weather that section to make it match the natural patina that's on the rest of it.
Yeah. You mean the metal part?
Well, on the stock, is the stock part of it too, right below the breech there, or
okay, you're speaking Greek to me. What's a stock?
So above the magazine,
okay.
Right? Use onto the stock.
Okay, this is a stock.
Yeah, the wood. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's from here.
Yeah.
To like
yeah. So
here.
right. So when you so getting it off the metal is going to be straightforward, but remember that's going to be, you're going to have this beautiful aged patina on either side of those stripes.
Yeah.
You're going to want to, my guess is you're going to want to paint over that to make the part that you removed it, to make it blend in with everything else and look equally aged.
Right.
Same sort of patina, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting challenge. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that. I certainly haven't, but that's going to be a new type of painting for you, I would think.
I'll figure it out.
Trying to make aging match between things. Yeah, I'm sure you will, but it'll be something different for you.
Well, I keep seeing somewhere that they call it bluing the metal. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to blue? Does this have any bluing on it?
Oh yeah. There's an adapter. Once you cut here, there's an adapter. Oh, is it back here? Like somewhere in here. You cut it here, and there's an adapter that that I got from Blaster Factory, that you can attach this grenade cup onto.
Okay.
that goes on the end. So you have to blue that. It's like it's steel right now.
Yeah,
It's steel color.
they sell. I believe they sell chemical kits that can
Yeah.
to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. So apparently you have to have a stamp and pay a tax to alter these things, right? To make it a shorter firearm.
Because you're cutting the barrel down.
Yeah, I'm cutting the barrel off. I'm just
Yeah.
cutting pretty much off. And I think that's like $200, you know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, like, I found these they're from 1948. They're British rifles from 1948, right? And I couldn't believe how cheap. Somebody sent me. I don't remember who it is. If I forgot who it was, I'm sorry if you're watching. They sent me a link for this, and it's like they were like $140 each. I was like, that's a no-brainer. Okay. And then the grenade cup cost me $150. So for a Jawa blaster plus the $75 for the adapter, for a full Jawa blaster, about $300.
So you didn't need a curio and relic license to buy this?
No, I need an FFL.
Well, so an FFL is
That's
going
a transfer.
They're going to facilitate the transfer.
Right.
However, with a curio and relic license, which I've had in the past, it's for like antique firearms.
Maybe in Colorado, but not in Pennsylvania.
No, it's a federally issued CNR.
Well, then I'm in trouble. No.
No.
I didn't.
No. I think the FFL goes above and beyond.
Okay.
I think the FFL is above and beyond what you need. A CNR allows you to skip. Allows you to mail it through the mail to your house, as opposed to going to an FFL to pick it up.
I'm going to say this before. I'm going to pause you for a second. John, shut the hell up.
What's wrong with them?
No, I'm not going to announce it on your face. I'm not going to. You just read it. I'm not going to announce it on YouTube. Shut the hell up, John.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So, but like this is a really cheap, cool, illegal thing to do. Like it's all good.
What's that?
It's a cool, cheap, illegal thing to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's all good.
No, you can cut the barrel, as you said. You can get that special stamp.
Yeah,
make that happen.
But it turns out that Zuckis's rifle is also the same thing. So I've always liked that one as well. So, like I said,
if you see any more of these, let me know, because I'll go buy one and I'll
send you a link
until I'm ready.
I'll send you a link. It's really, but they come covered in this grease. I don't know.
It's Cosmoline.
Okay, explain to me what that is about, because I don't know.
So Cosmoline is like a grease that they usually completely cover a firearm with while it's in storage. So that it doesn't get rust or anything like that.
Okay, that's what I figured.
The problem is, did you clean it off?
I did clean most of it off. I still have to take the guts apart. And
what you're going to find is that your stock is still going to ooze Cosmoline for a while.
Right.
So the right way to do it is the way I did this. Well, one of the right ways to do it. I bought a Mosin Nagant rifle a long time ago. It was covered in Cosmoline. I took I created a stove to bake it. Okay. Oh. And basically you take like a 6-inch heating duct. Okay. You put a cap on one, you put caps on both ends. You take a light bulb and you mount the light bulb to one of the ends. Okay. Mm-hmm. You stick the firearm in that container and you turn the light bulb on. It gets hot enough in it that the Cosmoline ooze comes out of the stock, and then you can wipe it down and get it clean.
For just the heat of a light bulb.
The heat of a light bulb inside that thing is enough to get all the Cosmoline out. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it with. I've bought antique firearms before, and I've used that to do it. So
okay. Well, you learn, like I said, learning something new, man, every day. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know anything about firearms.
And search on Cosmoline and oven or something. I'm sure that they have something for that.
So again, going back to found parts. Now these are pictures that were up on Facebook. So I'm not sharing anything that is is, not known or seen before. I'm sure tons of people have seen these. But like they have these, it was a cool site that's no longer there. Okay. But it just tells you some of the things, the more common things that are found. And it goes into detail.
Yeah.
It shows you what you need to find.
There's look at Kenobi Saber. Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah.
God, this was such a fun build.
Yeah.
That's the grenade I was telling you about there, the rifle grenade right there. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
place in here.
That's from World War One, and it has a long rod on the end of it. It's actually, you don't see it because it's cut off in the picture.
Right here, you see it right there.
That's a rod that's like, I don't know, about this long.
Mm-hmm.
And you would literally put it down the barrel of a rifle.
Oh.
And I don't know. I don't know how it ignites or whatever, but it shoots the grenade off.
Okay.
Okay.
So that explains the grenade cup that's on the end of the
flame.
Java blaster. Okay.
It's also got you see the weather vane that's on it as well. I think that's for in flight for stabilization.
Okay.
So the brass ring, that's
this one.
Yeah, right. So that's the vane, right? And so that I believe during flight that causes it to spin, okay, and stabilizes it during flight.
Okay. But this is not a cheap build, by the way, right?
No, this would I don't know. Right now, if you were trying to build this right now, I would say 12 grand.
Yeah, not happening. So what I'm curious about is like these balance pipes, right? Female, male. Is there? There's a difference, and you can use either one, but one's more accurate, right?
Yeah. So I believe so. If I remember this correctly, okay. And it's all a crapshoot, right? So you got to open up you have to buy the engine and open it up to figure out whether or not it has the female or the male. I forget what they call this, the balance pipes, right?
Yeah, balance pipe. Yeah.
And then a lot of people will the cheaper route is, I believe, you take the male and you convert it into a female.
Seems to be a problem.
Yeah. A lot of people have that, or you can just get the female, which is much more expensive.
So also I saw a post and props. What is it? Props. I forget. Is it Nick Klein's site? The props of Star Wars. Not what is it?
Yeah, the found part. I thought, is it found parts of Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the name of it, but there was a cool post on there where somebody got a hold of one of those Dermot engines.
Yeah,
and not only is IG-88's heads in there, you have those the Obi-Wan pieces, but there were so many other pieces in there in that engine that are littered all over Star Wars.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
I will send you a link to that. It is so cool. Some of them are parts of droids that are background droids. Some of them are like lights, like what you would figure to be like a chandelier.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
So many cool looking design pieces on there that I didn't notice. You don't notice these things that are on the side of the guns and on the Death Star. That, you know what I mean? But it was just cool to see. I'll send that to you when when we're done. But like if you look at these things, like even this, okay, you got a freaking surgical birthing forceps.
So what's the dome?
Dome or two R2D2 domes.
Okay. Yeah, this would be really cool to do.
This one I want to do. I have thought about this one. Yes. Just because it's got a birthing forceps on top. That just makes my day. We understand getting this needle is pretty difficult because getting it shipped from overseas. That's what I've heard. I've just watched. And then like this one, you got tonsillectomy is. Oh, my fucking dogs won't shut up.
Tonsillectomy.
Yeah. So this would be a really cool. And then you have a pencil holder on the top. Like it's just so many different weird things that come from all over different walks of life. Just these guys were brilliant when they built these things. And the guns, like when I called you at the show, the gun show, I'm like, is this the Han Solo gun? And he's I couldn't tell for sure because we would have to get into more details on it. But But even that, I was like, wow, how can I come up with $3,000? Like, what can I sell to get that $3,000 for that freaking gun?
That's not the for the one I have. That's not the expensive part.
No, I know you had said, but just going into like the things that I have decided to actually dive into. This I have bought this. Let me see. This. I went and got myself a detention camera.
Were you able to get the aluminum kit from the guy on the
No.
yeah?
No, I went and got the whole thing. Somebody built one before.
Oh, you bought it straight up.
Yeah, I bought it straight up. Right there it is, the blue one.
Okay.
So from what I understand, the blue ones are the more accurate ones, right? Than the blue and the gray.
Oh, solid blue, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you got solid blue. That's great.
I got solid blue. And then like these are the replica ones on top. This is the one that's being
Now
sent.
those lights on top varied between the cameras.
Yeah.
I think I actually have. I haven't installed mine yet, so I actually have
Hold
the lens right here. I think I have a few of those lenses actually. Let's see what I got in this. I've been sitting on these for. Actually, I've been sitting on this piece for a while, and I haven't.
Yes, Parminder, I did. It's a hard thing to figure out nowadays.
So, so this is apparently. I didn't even realize that there was a light installed. Okay, that's pretty cool. So
Is that the replica ones?
Well, the lens. I believe that I believe these are replicas. Yeah. So the lens, and then I didn't realize. I bought this like 2 years ago when I had first built my kit and I never finished it.
Yeah.
And I guess that mounts in there so it actually will light up.
Yeah, those are definitely replica ones because I was trying to sell something and I was waiting for it to actually sell because there was somebody on RPF who was selling the original lights of these and he had one left, the yellow one. I was literally about to write him within 15 minutes and say, hey, I'm going to buy that yellow one. It's been sitting on the RPF for a while. Let me get rid of you. It's been sitting on the RPF for a while. And the day I'm about to call the guy and say, hey, I want that. He sold it. I was like, But did you ever see what this thing comes off of?
You got an all blue one. That's freaking rare. That's hard to freaking do. So kudos to you. Yeah, they have 4 different color lenses. They got the purple, the red.
They have white too.
Yellow.
There's a white one.
White? I haven't seen white.
Yeah, I'll show you. You got to get back on the internet, brother. There's somebody who lives close to me who posted a picture of a working one, and it's a really cool like penny arcade type thing that light up, and there's a white ones and obviously they're very rare because like these lights here cost like 300. These little lenses cost like $350, so it's just ridiculously rare, so that's why I was like, oh, I better grab it before, there's not out there anymore, but I lost it. So, I didn't want to get rid of that. But like, that is something I just picked up and like I said,
you missed out. It's great that you got it, but you missed out on the fun part. This is one of those found parts builds that's good for the beginner. Yeah. Right. It was a lot of fun getting the kit and then drilling the holes and putting it together and the whole deal. I enjoyed it. This was actually I think probably the first. Is it the first found parts thing I got? Perhaps. That made it really easy for me to start getting into it.
Well, okay. What I like right now, and I'm going to say this and hopefully it doesn't change, is right now I'm able to pick stuff up because like not a lot of everybody's kind of moved on from these builds like this one and the binoculars and the Luke's binoculars and stuff like that. I'm able to pick some of this stuff up right now because they're on RPF, and people have already built them. You know, like I can imagine while you were doing this, everybody was buying these cameras.
Well, yes, that's true. So what happened with that? I'm trying to remember. I got okay. So I think I was on the RPF and I was reading the article, and the guy who was making the kit said that he was making the kit and that it would be available for sale soon.
Mhm.
When I saw that, I said, I'm jumping on this now. And I
Mhm.
went out and I bought all the ones I could find on eBay. And somebody actually helped me overseas, and they bought a couple for me as well. They got them really
Mm.
cheap. So I was able to buy all these cameras when they were cheap. These, I'm sorry, the slide projectors. I got them all when they were cheap, and I pestered the guy to get on his list to make sure I
Mhm.
was on his one of the first people to get the kit. So I was one of the first people to actually get this built when he made the kit, and it was before once the kit came out, the prices skyrocketed. The prices
Right.
you went
Yeah.
went nuts.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I it was like one of the few times that I was actually ahead of the game.
One of the problems I'm running into right now is a lot of these parts that people have machined, right? Like let's say the back plate here, or parts for the Luke
Yeah.
binoculars. They've already they did a run and sold all their stock, and they're not doing any more runs.
Yeah.
So I've got to try to locate it through by talking somebody into selling me their part that they weren't going to build,
Yeah.
basically. So that's the problem I'm running into.
Yeah, the
You
kit
know,
was great. I wish I remember
yeah,
the name of the guy on the RPF. The kit
it's
was
Super Green, right? It's Super
yeah,
Green
that's
Props.
Green Props.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Ethan. Yeah,
top notch. The kit was fantastic. It was
isn't
so
there a
good.
mount on the back that you can mount like a little TV stand on, so you can or
Yeah. Actually, I actually have that. Mine is. Did you not get the? Did you not get the
no, I
mount?
didn't get the prop. I didn't get the mount, but
Oh, that
I'll
sucks. Because
yeah.
mine is actually mounted to my wall, and it's you can angle it and what.
I don't think I want to mount it to my wall. I want to put it on like I saw somebody had it on a little like almost like a monitor stand, and it
Mhm.
worked. It looked really nice that way for me.
But you know what's cool about this? This is like one of the few props that like looks and makes sense being on the wall in the
It does.
corner of your collection room,
It
because
does.
it's like in the same sort of context as the movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what's nice, as opposed to putting it in a cabinet.
Yeah.
It's really cool to hang it on the wall and have it pointed down at you.
Very true. I actually 3D printed little detention cameras like this and put them inside my
I saw you
Sandcrawler
put it
umbrella.
in your
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Sandcrawler, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that is one of the cool, like everything's like brown and rust and orange, and and then you have these blue cameras in the middle. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I
I
thought
like
that was
that.
pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So and like let me
What
see
kind of
what
3D
else.
printer you got?
What's that?
What kind of 3D printer you got?
I have a Anycubic Mono X.
Okay. How do you like it?
I really liked it until like 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh,
And then all of a sudden, I don't know what the heck happened to it, but I can't get the thing to work for the life of me without taking it apart each time I do a print, re-leveling everything,
oh.
redoing everything.
Hmm.
I'm like, today was the last straw. Like this week, I've had the whole week off, and I was planning on building stuff. I was planning on doing 3D printing. I was planning on painting. I was planning on laser cutting, and I swear to God, none of those things work for me all week long.
Two things. If you need something 3D printed, send me the files. I'll print it for you, and I'll mail it to you. Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna throw this one in the trash and
That's
buy
what I'm
another
saying.
one.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, that was the second thing I was gonna say. If you're gonna buy a printer, I bought something called the Bamboo Carbon, Bamboo Carbon X1. I've had 4 3D printers. I've had issues with all of them. This Bamboo Carbon is bulletproof.
Really?
It has never fucked up a print where I wasn't at fault for it.
Well, I can always tell you, I'm probably at fault for 90% of it. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But
Yeah.
my previous printers sucked. But seriously, Bamboo Carbon X1, everybody loves this thing.
All right.
It's a
Is
little
it
bit
expensive?
little pricey. I mean, the printer. Okay, so the printer itself is going to cost $1,200, and then
Yeah.
it has a multi-filament feeder as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, no. No,
can do.
this is a liquid resin
Oh, you did
dripper.
resin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
different. Yeah,
Resin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
my
just gonna
son.
throw this one in the garbage and buy another $200 one. I can't
How's the
stand.
smell, or do you keep it in the garage?
It's in the garage, but I have a exhaust fan coming off the top of it and
Hmm.
sucking all the fumes outside.
Did
It's
you
like
put a hole in your roof, or what did you?
and I put a
How
hole in
did
my garage. My garage wall goes right outside, and then my paint paint booth and my printer go flush outside.
okay. Yeah,
So
cool.
let me show you something else here. Where did they go? Attention cameras. No, I have to find that. So I found this really good, not me, but I saw it on here. This really cool uh little thing that was on in the Death Star that I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And never noticed it before. Okay. Never noticed these little red lights that are on the walls of the Death Star.
Yeah,
And I thought, oh, that's really cool. So
they're
I'm
like,
just like,
um,
no, here,
yeah, I think
what's that?
they're. Go ahead, show them. I think they're black, and they're like,
Black and red.
yeah, black and red. It's like triangular, I think. Or
No, this.
oh no, not that. That looks like a smoke detector or something.
It is a slideshow projector. Like
Turn it side. Cool.
yeah, on its side.
Right. Yeah.
So I looked it up and these things were $9. So I bought two of them and painted it. I'm gonna put a light and a piece of acrylic behind it.
Hmm.
And I was asking on one of the groups what these white Greeblies were, right? And a couple people were talking about it, and then I looked at it and I realized that's just a reflection from the other side of the wall. Those are those are just because there's no light, there's no Greeblies on this side, right? They're
Yeah.
just reflected Death Star walls, the slots from the Death Star walls.
Hmm.
So I have two of these.
That's painted.
Yeah, hold on, let me go get mine. I'll show it to you.
How the hell did they get the paint in between all the fins?
So yeah, I just they're $9.
How did you get the paint in between the fins?
I just sprayed it. I used spray paint and I sprayed it on the top and then down from the sides and it got in there real good. Like really good. And then I'm gonna put a light behind it and a piece of acrylic behind it and put it on my wall.
Yeah, nice.
Just really easy, simple, cool looking thing that was $9, so can't go wrong there. But I
Nice.
got two of them. Just little things like that. You never noticed those in the movie. I never did.
The question is, did you get the one with the RAF stamp on it?
RAF stamp.
It's a joke. Just super rare. Never mind. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I get you now. But no, it's yeah. So okay, I'll let's pull up. Do you want to pull up some of the things that you're? Oh, okay. So we could let's do this one. The other one that I was really interested in, we both were, is the Haas scanner.
Yeah. So this is in progress for you.
Kind of. I'd say I have a couple pieces. It's not really in progress, I would say. So, like, I found them on the RPF. They were like $500 for the two, right? For both of them. But these are, soap dispensers, like, and this was the first found parts prop that I thought, oh, that would be really cool, but a lot of it is unknown. A lot of it is not known. Like most of the stuff up top here, people don't know what they are yet. And luckily I got these, which are pretty hard to get. And then these buttons here, everybody kept telling me, "You're never gonna find them. You're gonna find them. You're gonna find them." I found one. I found two. I found the green one. I didn't find the red one, but
Mhm.
the two that I have 2 green ones. I'm just gonna paint the one green one red. But even Rob has pieces of this, and he said he was ready to do stuff, start building it with me. Um, but it's actually a really cool piece. This is the one thing I was like, I'd rather have this on my shelf than a statue.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that like a car antenna?
yes,
Yeah, the mount, the base of it looks like it's from a car.
yeah,
Do they
yeah,
know what car?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they do. But like these two are not known, which Super Green makes
Yeah, I was
machine
gonna say
parts.
that should be straightforward to machine that.
These they don't know what they are. At least it hasn't been announced. I'm sure. I bet you somebody knows. It's a case where somebody probably does
That
know
looks
what they
like
are.
that looks like it rotates. That looks
It
like
looks like a hinge.
yeah, it looks like maybe a lock. Like on a toolbox or it looks like a clasp
Yeah.
that opens up and then
Well, here's the problem with that thinking though.
Mm,
This knob here
mm.
isn't part of this assembly. It belongs
Sure.
to something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But it still is, there's a hinge there. Somehow it hinges and moves up.
Mm.
Like they don't know what these white boxes are. And there's pieces on the back. And then there's this Hothman. These are the two things that if I only got these two and built these two, I'd be happy.
Mm.
The Hoth binoculars and the Hoth
You
scanner.
would,
Those,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't believe
What's
that.
that?
I think you'd want to keep going. There's so many cool props, not just these two.
Well, okay. So name some. I've kind of shown the ones that I thought I would be interested in.
The Obi-Wan, first of all, Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber is the pinnacle. I mean,
Yeah.
now it doesn't get any better than that.
But like I said, I don't want to get into the lightsabers. I just
You have to
don't.
get into the lightsabers. You could get one, and Obi-Wan's is the thing is when you have it and it's all together, just every piece is just so gorgeous on its own. The macro binoculars is amazing, so cool. There's a lot of that one's complicated to build, but
Yeah.
it is just gorgeous.
I have almost all the pieces for this now.
Oh, okay.
I'm only missing one more of the I have one of these lenses.
Mhm.
I'm missing I need another one with the actual camera.
You have the circuit board and all that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have but surprisingly, one of the things I'm missing is the parts that are made during the runs. Like I'm missing the faceplate to hold these on. I'm missing the transition box between, those are the things I'm actually having a harder time finding than the real world prices,
Mhm.
But like I said, this is one of the ones that I want to. Is yours completely accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all the parts. So
Mhm.
do you want to show some? You want me to show some of your parts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't take a lot of great pictures, but
No, it's fine.
I just quickly ran around this afternoon and grabbed.
I would like to actually show this because this is somebody's building. I don't know who it is, and I'm sorry if it is yours but it is just so well displayed.
Oh, mhm.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So that I have that base is another RPF run. I have that base. I just
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Send it to me
Okay. Okay. All right.
because I like it.
You
I
like
like it a lot. Yes.
I can't stand. I don't like the base. I don't like the acrylic look to it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just show some of your parts. Let's see where you at. Steve. There you are. So starting with this was, I think, wasn't this like your first thing you jumped into? These are first.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so first of all, you asked me to send you a picture of this, so I did. This is 100% replica.
Yes, I know. From Wanawanga, right?
Wanawanga, and yeah, Wanawanga.
And then and then
Ben-
Ben Huckabee
Ben
painted it
Huckabee
for you,
painted
right?
it like with his like it ought to be patented rust on top of that thing because that rust is so perfect. I
Right.
do think that the vents, the louvered vents on the side are found, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Oh, are they? They look.
Think
They
so.
look. They don't. They don't look. Maybe not. They look like they're too new. Isn't the real one? No, so the real one is a hammer drill housing, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy hard to get out and unbelievable that they'd find what it is. You know.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, I am not putting the effort
No,
into buying this heavy ass hammer drill.
it's big.
And
I've seen
then,
it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, I am not. Nope. Not doing it. I don't
Yeah.
care enough. Frankly, I'm so totally content with this. This is, as you know, fully replica, painted like I don't think you can get any better painting than it is. It's got a
Well,
great.
isn't this texture like a artistic liberty? I thought it was smooth.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I
It's a
think
good
it
question.
is.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look. Well,
It's
but
cool.
it is. I absolutely love the paint job that he did on this.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good. Very good. Now, okay. So let's get to the first picture of that. And we'll come back to it. But I have a question about it. So here's your camera.
My macros.
Now, what is this circuit board?
I don't remember what that comes from.
So that is actually part of the
I bought this fully built already.
So here's my question. The circuit board, is that something that's original or is it something that's in there? Is that in the camera or is it?
No, I think that's just a circuit board from something that somebody threw in there.
Okay, so it's not actually an accurate piece to the part.
What? What do you mean?
Is that an actual piece that you see on the original?
Oh, I believe. I don't think that's like an embellishment, if that's what you're saying.
Okay, because I don't know enough to say yes or no. I saw that and I was like, what's that?
I have an old thread on this. I have to dig
Okay.
it up for you. I'll go dig
Okay.
up my notes on this. I haven't looked at them, and I've had
Okay.
this for forever.
Yeah.
Let me look it up for you, and I'll get back to
All
you.
right. Yeah, so that's like this is a whole bunch of different cameras, and some of them are really cheap,
Yeah.
and one of them is really expensive. And then you need two
This
of them.
is
Of
this
course,
is just it's such a gorgeous piece.
it is.
I mean, the idea of how they put it together, and
Yeah.
it's oh god, I love that. I love that one.
Do you have the green faceplate on this connector? That I've learned.
I'd have to go check. Here, give me a second. Let me go grab it.
That's not that important.
Well, I'll grab it. It's not that far.
Okay. I am learning some things. Like the differences between these. There's a black one and a green one, and it is cool to learn these things. Steve's got some nice pieces, some nice found parts pieces. If you guys don't know, he still has a lot of statues and a lot of. I don't think he has any Hot Toys anymore, but
I wouldn't say I have a lot of statues.
you got rid of most of them.
1, 2. Okay, so I got those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
6.
I think I got 6.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. So, what are you talking about? Green over here?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
This is it. It's either there's a cover to
Here?
this. No, that's the female plug at the end. But on the face,
well, that's coming loose.
on the face, there's I think it's a green. It's black with green. I don't know.
There's a greenish button here,
yeah,
and then there's this bottom of it's like a circuit board is green as well.
Not that. I'm talking about. I think it's that green button. I might be wrong. It might be because there's a black one like this, and then there's a green one like this.
I would be shocked if any of this is inaccurate.
Well, I don't think it's inaccurate, but I'm
it's
just
what I bought.
yeah.
Oh,
So
when I bought it, yeah.
the transition box, hold that up flat because I haven't been able to make
want-
out. Okay, so like the belt strap is there, and
Yeah,
then do you?
I think the belt strap was that an actual found part, or is that just a repro?
That's just repo.
Yeah,
I think I might be complete.
Sure,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's right.
Don't
Mhm.
know. But do you have some people have actually put lights in it so you can see the wampas in the viewer?
Yeah, like they'll put a video camera in it. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Get
I
the
almost have all the pieces for that. Almost. Very nice.
Yeah, this is definitely it's so cool. It's got it's just like this meld of all these cameras,
Mm-hmm.
and that transition plate, the between this camera and these lenses.
Yeah, that's the screw. That's threaded. Those things are threaded. It's threaded so that the lenses go in.
You know what? I've never taken it apart. I would.
Pretty sure it is.
This doesn't strike me as particularly hard to make. That transition plate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to though. I'd have to get somebody to make it for me.
What you need is a machine shop.
I do, but
Somebody who has machine tools.
so there's a transition box on the back that goes that I think it's up higher, like it transitions, turns to the side, turns to the side.
This like this
Nope.
or
Nope, flat,
oh.
turn clockwise. There you go. I think that black thing is that a transition box? No. Move over. Move it over the other way. Like there's a box.
This thing right here.
The black thing
Black
right
box?
there. That yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's, that I think was made for somebody, or is
Really?
it the silver part in between it?
Maybe the silver part because
Okay.
that looks fairly. These curves and whatnot look fairly. Like
Right,
why would you do that?
Yeah, I think it's the silver part between it.
Okay.
I think. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've purchased the pieces. I have yet to receive one of them yet. So they're in transit from
Okay.
Australia and France and England. So,
Yeah.
again, can't get these things in the States. But very nice piece. Love it. Okay, so the next one that I'm just gonna go through a couple of years. You have a Leia blaster, which is incredible.
If you want me to grab that, I can grab pieces if you want.
No, that's all right. We'll just talk about them on
Yeah, now that's the real deal. That's a real Russian Margolin,
yeah.
and it is such a. The guys at the gun shop were like drooling over it. Like
Really.
they never seen one before. And, it's just again, Star Wars. The things that they chose to use to build these props off of were just really bizarre.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So now you're a gun collector to begin with, right? So you yeah.
So that's like one area of collecting where I have a little bit of previous knowledge, right?
Right. Yeah. Which
So
I have
this is-
none.
So the pouches, the brown. Okay, so
This one?
that one's a found part, and then the other pouch is a found part. Now the belt, the buckle, and the scope case are all repros.
Okay.
I
What about
have,
this?
that's a repro.
Okay.
I have been watching eBay for 3 years
Mm,
to find the right scope case
okay.
to replace that repo, and I have not found it.
Part of my ignorance, scope case, which is a scope case.
So the tall scope case on the right, sorry,
This one.
yeah, that one. So that's a scope case. Sorry, is it a scope case? Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. eBay. Look at my searches.
Now your lightsaber, is that all found parts too?
Hold on one second. Just give me. It's a Warner Swayze site. Okay, so that case is Warner Swayze. Go ahead and go ahead and bring go to me. I'll show it.
Mm. You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So that's Warner Swayze, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of the cases that you find there's something this is one of those ones that is, you can go off me. This is one of those ones that we have to find the very specific one without the pouch on the side and the whole deal.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find. I've been looking forever. So my intent here. So I also found on Etsy somebody who made Luke's gi.
Okay.
This is a mannequin that has a repro gi, and I put his belt and all that, and all I need I have the droid collar, which you'll see in a second. All I need to finish this off is the training helmet. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to put the training helmet on him, so he'll be just like he was on the Millennium Falcon.
Is the lightsaber found parts, or is that?
This is a repro. That's not
a
legit.
You didn't jump into that one yet.
One of the easier ones to do. That I've never really been a super hurry to do that.
Right.
I went after the hardest one first. Well, some people might argue that Vader saber is harder, but I went pretty hard, pretty quick.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, you're waiting for your training. This now.
I threw this one in because I thought it was interesting. So this is no kidding, made out of found parts, and I don't know the whole story of it because remember we're talking about the
CG.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they like mocked it up by using like a real flash.
Okay.
But that's legit, like the actual flash that was used to make the saber.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You have another picture of it somewhere too. This is one of those ones that never really thrilled me.
I
understand people like it, why people like it.
Yeah.
But
So what's cool about it too is you got to put it in context of everything else. So I have this next to the clapperboard.
Yeah.
A clapperboard reproduction, right?
Right.
So what's his name does the clapperboards?
That I don't know.
Oh, he does tons of them. The name will come to me. Farrell? Is it Cullen? No, maybe I'm thinking I forget what his name is. But got the clapperboard with this next to it. They go together, right?
Okay.
This is the lens that Lucas would use to frame his shot before he would take it, including, and I haven't put it on yet. I haven't had the courage to put it on yet, but that's like an actual label maker with his name on it that was on that lens.
So I've used these. I'm sure a lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
You've used them back in the day with the red.
I'm Farrell. Thank you. Yes.
Did you ever use those when you were younger? Like I use those all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have like a P-Touch and it's Bluetooth and the whole deal.
Yeah. But like, is this intentional that the two letters are lower than the other ones?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I figured it would be because it just is so random that it would. Yeah. All right. So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
How much of this is found parts and how much of it is not?
So the scope is found, I believe.
Okay.
I believe the scope is found. I believe the mounting brackets are, and then all the greeblies on the stock are.
Right.
I don't know if the camshaft.
Oh, so these are the ones. These are the things that are on the side of the.
They're car parts, if I remember correctly. They're like connectors for a car, like. I have a fuse box or wire connectors or something.
These are on the side of the scanner.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's 3 different kinds apparently. The scanner has one specific line details on, and then I guess they're on the opposite. They're on the side that's against the stock here, the butt. So it doesn't really matter on these, I assume. But yeah, I gotta find those yet.
Yeah.
But
the stock is repro. And the Webley's repro. One day I'll replace the Webley with an actual one.
Yeah,
it's just they're expensive and hard to find.
Very
camshaft, I think, is an actual model kit part.
Okay. Camshaft.
the see the round, see the rod
This
right there?
here.
Yeah, that I'm not sure if that's a casting or an
It's
actual
a model kit part.
right, but I don't know if it's like somebody took the part and recast it or if
No.
it's an actual model part.
It's on a V8 engine, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That
but
is another one I would like to do.
The Webley is not real. I wish it was.
Yeah, the Webley apparently is pretty hard to get. But never say never.
Oh, I'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm. This is like if you're going to get into found parts. This is like the easiest found part thing to go find,
Yeah.
and it teaches you a little bit about patience, and it teaches you about finding the exact one that you're supposed to get,
Right.
because there are tons of these out there that have the wrong writing on them.
Right.
There's a lot of variants of this, and you have to find the exact one. And then even getting the air canisters and whatnot, you have to go and get the right air canisters. But it's a really good entry level found part thing to go do yourself. You can do it almost purely on eBay. Yeah,
This never interests me. Even though I love Jawas and I love sandcrawlers and all that other stuff.
you're ridiculous. This is that's just you're.
I can honestly tell you,
Get it?
Steve,
Put it up to your sandcrawler, and it's
if I ever buy this, you could say, "Damn it, Chris! I told you eventually would," but I don't see it happening.
it's so easy to get.
I know. I don't know why. I just
The other thing that's hysterical about it is all the English writing on it, right?
Yeah.
So you got these Jawas walking around with this thing, and the resolution isn't good enough to see it, but they're literally walking around with something with English writing on it.
right, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's completely noticeable.
that's what's so cool about it.
Is it the same on the other side?
No, I don't think there's any. I don't recall any writing on the other side. I think.
Okay, maybe that's why they use that side.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the rod itself is proud of the front. There's on the back. You wouldn't see
Okay,
the rod as much. So
it's functional.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, ultimately, this is a welder. All it does is it takes the two gases, mixes it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's so brain dead simple of a tool.
yeah.
You have the flow control and how quickly you mix the gases together, right?
Right.
On the bottom, that's those knobs are like a clamp. It tightens.
Oh, okay, tightens it up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cupped. Okay, I see it's cupped.
it's a
and you
little
put
cup.
got it.
Yeah.
And then you push it up, and it punctures these.
Good question. I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Couple droid callers. The one on the right is Hans, and the one on the left is Luke's.
another one that doesn't interest me.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of challenging things to do with these two. Like you got to get the right. I think these are flashes also, but you got to get the right piece, the right color, and then the knurling on the parts on the top has to be right. And yeah,
They're not very cheap either.
No, I think these are like $400 or $500 each or something like that.
Yeah. Like I said, I probably will stick to a couple. I can't see myself going too far. Now this is a beauty.
Yeah, this is a no shit. This is the real deal, real Luger, real muzzle, a real scope. Any part on here is the real deal. And yeah. And that muzzle, the flash suppressor or whatever it is,
This here.
that's like the expensive piece.
Yeah.
It's from an airplane machine gun.
I thought this was the expensive part.
No, yeah.
Little did I know that this was the expensive part right here. This little
Yeah, and they make
3-inch
repros,
piece.
they make repros of that. You can see this one. There's actually There's actually a YouTube video of the guy actually making this.
Okay.
Basically sandblasting. Well, was he sandblasting or wire brushing it and doing the whole job to restore it because it was totally roached out.
This is pretty weathered. Like
it's not weathered. It's rusted.
That's
so.
But that's what makes it look cool, though.
Well, yes and no. I'm trying to remember what the screen wasn't this bad, but they're so impossible to get and I have I have 2 repros also, but
Okay.
this has the real deal on it. Did I build this one? No, no, I didn't build this. I found somebody who was selling it, and I bought it secondhand. Yeah.
Yeah. How many have you? How many builds have you made?
I built that you're looking at. I built
Yeah.
the Kenobi saber.
The what saber? The Obi-Wan saber?
Kenobi's, yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah.
saber. I think most of the other stuff I bought.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, right? So the person I bought them from is a research nut
Mhm.
and gets like the absolute perfect and puts it together absolute perfectly.
Mhm.
And my ability to reproduce what he built is almost none. It would take me years.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy the absolute perfect build from this guy. Boof, poof, get it done. Spend a whole bunch of money, but
Right.
it's done. Or I could try to do it myself, and I probably would never get there. I would probably never ever get there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I understand. There's things that I wouldn't try to like. I wouldn't. Maybe not. Because I'm doing the Java blasters. I'm going to do the. When I get to that Hoth scanner, I'm gonna like struggle with drilling into things. You know, like and the macro binoculars. You have to drill holes in them to put these parts on. You know, and
Mhm.
it's going to be a little rough. What I think I am not going to do is I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill the holes for those Hoth scanners for the thermostats, but I'm not cutting off the back of the thermostats. I'm going to drill the holes, and I don't even know. I'm not going to, I'm going to use like hot glue to glue them in there, because if I ever want to take it apart, or I don't know, I just don't.
If you go back to the Han blaster,
Yeah. Okay.
so that barrel has to be cut.
What has to be cut?
That barrel, the barrel on
Barrel
it
here.
has to be cut.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're also brazing the scope mount to it as well.
Okay.
So I was really nervous when I went to the gun store when I went to pick this up,
Okay.
because there's gun collectors that consider what this irreparable, this permanent alteration of a gun
Yeah.
to be sacrilegious.
Oh, sure.
I was waiting for the guy to give me somebody to give me all sorts of shit on it, right?
Well, yeah, that's a case a lot of times with, they don't want you buying these things to wreck them.
Right. Well, in my case, it was basically an FFL to FFL transfer. So the person who sold it to me put it through an FFL, and then I had to go pick it up from an FFL.
Right.
So when I went in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go pick this thing up. I wonder what sort of shit they're going to give me. But it was totally the opposite. The guys were like, well, as soon as I told them they're like, oh wow, and they were all excited about it. And I'm like, gee, I thought you were going to give me shit for it. And they said, no. The one guy who was really pissed off about it isn't here today. So
really? So somebody was pissed off and was going to give you shit.
Man, I don't blame them. Look,
yeah.
If this wasn't done already, I don't think I could do it. Like,
yeah,
take just a beautiful vintage firearm like this and cut the barrel off.
Well, I ran into that problem.
It's not $150 training rifle. That's a different story. Okay.
Well, yeah, true.
But this is the Luger. I mean,
I saw it for $3,000.
Yeah.
So like it's not a cheap thing that you just want to cut up.
No. And when you do it, you want somebody who knows what they're doing to do it.
Right. They need to know. Hold on, I just gotta get my son answering my son's questions. Like I was looking at those rifles and thinking to myself, these are 1948 rifles. Do I really want to cut them up? But it's the whole reason I bought them.
For that one, it's a training rifle, and it's super common,
and
it's like no worries. Like if I was taking like an M1 Garand or something, like a World War II US battle rifle, I could never bring myself to
no
one of those up. But
I ran into that problem with the Sony cassette player I bought. Okay, so I bought that with the intention of
Yeah, yeah.
eventually when Rob does finally do a AT-AT helmet to take the guts out of it and put it on and replace the repo pieces. But the one I got is so pristine and beautiful. I'm like, I can't break this thing apart.
Yeah, to some extent, it actually might even be just as satisfying to display the cassette player
Yeah.
next to the helmet,
Yeah.
knowing that you have the piece, here it is,
Well,
and you don't really care that the prop that you have like the helmet itself has a repro on it.
I think I'm just gonna buy a one that's already beat up. It was only like $200-300. So I'll just
Okay.
buy one that's already beat up
Mhm.
and cut that one up and keep this one real nice. I mean, the freaking cord was wrapped up still in its twister. There was just the box was perfect. There was no reason for me to break this beautiful thing up, this beautiful vintage piece
Yeah.
up when I can just, it's $300 isn't cheap, but I mean, it's more doable than a $3,000 Luger, So just think about this. If you do mess that up, like if you cut up that Luger and you mess it up, like that's a crying day, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be
You already
very upset.
you really shouldn't be cutting it, but then to
Yeah.
cut it wrong, that's
Yeah.
it's so yeah, you want to send it to somebody who's like a gunsmith. So
Right. Did we show this one already?
no, we didn't
No.
so this is
This is your baby, huh?
I will be buried with this.
This is
Yeah.
your baby.
Yeah, this
Is
is
it-
this
You're
is
gonna be buried with this and the Mythos statue.
this is a work of art.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful and a lot of people it's really hard. I really like the amount of weathering that's on mine. It's not
Yeah.
overdone, right? It doesn't have a ton of issues. A lot of people have like smashed up veins, really roached out grenades, balance pipes that don't have the right amount of weathering on them and whatnot. I think I just love the amount of weathering on the one I have here. So now the one thing I did
up.
now I did
Sorry, I had to scream at my dogs to shut up.
I
Sorry.
did, I did have to remove the strip out of the calculator, the bubble strip
Yep,
out.
the bubble strip.
Yeah. So and I goofed it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See the bubbles aren't perfectly centered. It's a little bit wider. The extra bit is a little bit wide on the left versus the right. It's not centered right, but I don't think anybody would notice that. But that I actually took a calculator and broke it apart and cut. I had to cut the bubble strip down to get it to fit and sand it a little bit to get it to fit inside the clamp for the Graflex clamp.
So it's funny, like this is a faucet
Yeah.
handle
Yeah.
and a flash and a calculator and a grenade and a jet engine piece. And this is part of the grenade as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the vein.
But like all of these pieces make up this beautiful otherworldly part that I like
Now-
this, how it's like curved.
What you
It's
need
cool.
to hold this all together, there's actually a metal rod
Okay.
that runs down the center of it that screws into the handle, the faucet knob,
Mm-hmm.
and then friction fits through the balance pipe on the other end.
Okay.
So there's actually you have to buy a rod from a guy on RPF to hold it all together.
Okay.
That the faucet knob, they don't know if it was a hot or a cold.
Right.
So, but mine, I don't keep the cap. I don't keep the hot or cold cap on it anyway.
It never shows it in the movie.
No, they haven't been able to figure it out.
No, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, they look the same other than the.
What do you mean, doesn't matter?
Well, it doesn't matter because you don't see
Come
it.
on.
I mean,
Well, I would, but it's there. It's a certain.
yeah,
color. It's a
but I
certain-
mean, okay. So in the movie, can you tell if it's a certain color? Like it's not blue or red, right? It doesn't.
matter if you can tell. Do you know?
No, I don't. I'm like genuinely curious. Like, can
So-
you?
That's one thing I scratch my head about. Like, I remember you saying, "Oh, it might not be the exact one, but it's good enough." I'm like, boy, that's gotta change, Chris. You need this good enough stuff.
What did I say that about? I don't
The
remember what I.
rifle when you were
'Cause
buying
I'm-
the rifle. When you bought the training rifle, you're like, it's not it may not be the exact one, but it's good enough.
No,
And I'm like,
no. That was the
wrong with
okay.
you?
So I know, remember what that was. I was looking at this rifle, and it looked like it, and it was like, in all honesty, it was the first like day or two I was even looking at these Jawa rifles, and
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
Burgess. I've been saying Mauser the whole. I've been saying Luger the whole time. He's right. It's Mauser. I just
Yeah.
my bad. Sorry.
So I was looking at. It was the first time I was even looking at rifles. Okay, and I was asking the guy like, I only know the name, and it was an MK3, like an Enfield. I think it's Enfield.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, there's a couple different kinds, and I don't. They at that time they all looked the same to me. You know, like there wasn't. I couldn't tell the difference whatsoever. But I was looking at the one, and I was that's the one I took pictures of. I'm like, it's close. Like I can't tell, and it's probably good enough. But then like 2 rifles down, he had the exact one that I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. That's the different. That's definitely the one. So,
Mhm,
but that
mhm.
one was $800. I was like, oh man, I don't want to buy this for $800 and cut it
See?
up. You know,
And that's let's hopefully 6 months from now. Hopefully 6 months from now, you'll say, "Damn it! I wish I had bought the $800 one."
no, because I have 2 $100 ones that are exactly the same. I got the two exact same things for a lot less.
Well, they
So
do.
I was happy.
They do have those stripes on it that you got to.
Yeah. Well, there was a guy on RPF who did get those stripes off that I'm actually conversing with a little bit, and
yeah. Find out how he wound up
yeah,
covering
I'm
up where
going
the
to.
stripes were. See what
Yeah.
he did on that. Right.
I think I read that he sanded them off and then reblued it.
Wait, but
And
okay, but on the magazine, yeah. But I'm more concerned about the stock, frankly.
the wood.
The wood, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I strip it down the bare wood, and then
You know what? You might be able to buy a magazine. It's the magazine. I don't think the magazine is removable, right? It's on a hinge.
it is. It's
Okay.
removable. Yeah,
You might. Wait, does the magazine come out or is it on a hinge?
it does. It comes out.
Okay, so you could probably go buy a replacement magazine
Yeah,
fairly cheap,
probably. If I got the rifle for $100, I might as well be able to get the.
and then not have to worry about it, and then you'll have a nice. Hopefully, you
Yeah.
get something similar patina, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And rather than putting all that work into cleaning off the stripes,
yeah. It's a better idea.
um,
Yeah, I'll look for that. That's a good idea.
it's the stock I would be worried about, and even
Yeah.
you might even be able to find a replacement like a stock too, fairly cheap. I would look into that.
Possibly. Well, okay, so you're gonna kick me in the ass about this, but on the website, I was able to choose, if I wanted one with the stripes on.
Oh, you
Well-
chose. How much money did you save, you cheap bastard? $50?
I say $40.
Fuck. Oh, what a mistake.
But okay, it wasn't like saying that it was completely not on there. It would just said doesn't matter. It could be faded, it could be gone, it could be chipped, it could be, so really I could have ended up with the same
top
things.
one, you showed two. The top one, the stripes on the stock were starting to come off. It was pretty clear
Yeah.
that they were coming off naturally, right?
Yeah.
So that looked better than the bottom one.
Yeah, one of them is actually cooler than the other one. Like I'm planning on using the one that I like better for the
Don't be
Jawa
afraid
glass.
to mix and match the parts too.
Okay.
Most, don't worry about the whole matching parts thing. It doesn't matter with such a cheap.
I just got to figure out how to take it apart. Like I don't know anything about guns, so like it's a whole learning process for me. I'm sure it's probably really easy once I do it. I just got to remember where all the parts go, so
taking apart these rifles. This is bolt action. Is that right? Bolt action?
Yeah.
It won't be too hard.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't touched it since I bought them, so because I've just been trying to get other things done, but I'm looking forward to doing that. That'll probably be a summer thing because I want to cut it up and stuff. So but yeah, I think is that the last picture you sent? No, Joy Collar.
Joy Call. Yeah, this was real cheap, but It's such a simple thing. You put it right next to a stormtrooper helmet.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and it also, what I also like about this is it shows that part, the
The part
fin.
number
I forget what. No, the finned part, the black finned part. I
this
forget.
here.
Yeah, I forget where that's from. But that thing shows up in so many different props.
Oh yeah, it's on. Isn't it on your Han gun?
Yeah, it is. It's on the front. It's actually
It's
a
on the
couple
front.
of them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them actually, Frankenstein together.
And what are they?
Sorry,
What are they?
remember what they are. There's some.
Actually, it's on that other.
I don't
That
remember.
other.
But what's nice about it is it's like intact, and so you can say, well, yeah, this is the part.
There it is. It's a radial engine cylinder. Oh wait, I gotta put it up on the screen. That may help.
Yeah, DJ makes a good point about how they're designed to be able to be taken apart. Yeah, see, you got two of them right there. It's just cut in
Yeah.
half, and then
Yeah.
so it calls it a
Radial
wait,
radial engine cylinder.
wait. Okay.
4 halves. Now what's this down here? This push button. Spare illuminated push button. Oh, the RS component. Oh. So that's where all those square colored, they're RS components. Now I understand. Can you hear me? Steve?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I lost you. That makes sense now. That's what the micro switches are on those, the Haas scanner that I picked up. They're RS components. It's a company that makes them.
Yeah.
Because they're on also the Hoth binoculars too that I want to. They're blue and red.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And this Mitchell Engineering turntable is on almost everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Rob has one of those.
They don't identify where those rods came from.
Which one? These rods?
On the right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because they're on mine as well. But I'm kind of curious as to where that rod came from.
These are from a model part. Okay, these are all from model parts.
Well, DJ in the chat wrote Piper Cub RC plane cylinder.
Okay.
Even those cords, you got to get the right cord to
Right.
match, right?
Yeah, I imagine that's not easy either.
Okay, he says it from the Cub engine. Okay.
Yep.
The,
Imagine
rod.
finding that is not easy as well. I wonder if it's the cord that I have with my what cord is that from? Is it the same cord as from the
It says the CB radio.
those are the earphones that I'm talking about.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, like, okay, so when I like I say again, when I started the channel, it was I wanted to do shows with this. I wasn't planning on getting involved in it. I was gonna say, hey, let's get some guys on here just to talk about these. Like I figured you would like to do it. And I want to get Rob on. Like Rob, we've been trying to get in touch with Rob to get on. He's been a little busy. But we'll get him on again to talk about some of this cool stuff so we can, he knows more than both of us, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone out. He's figured parts out on his own.
Yeah. So, but I think that's all I had to show. Binoculars, attention camera. Oh, the lights, the Hoth binoculars. I could show the Hoth binocular quick. I don't have all the pictures there. Another time. Yeah, like, okay, I could show this quick. Just real quick. I don't have much longer. But the Luke binoculars, like this here's part of it, like one of the cameras that are in it. And
oh, is that the case it came in?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's on its way. Then there's this one where you have a silver knob, a red knob, and a gray knob, and the silver one's the hard to find, and that's the one you need. So it's like, damn it,
you look at that thing. Look at how, like, what a piece of industrial
History.
art that is.
Yes.
Just the way everything's designed, the way the writing is,
Hmm.
the knobs and
And then when you open it up, you can see the 2 reels inside where the film was at. Like
yeah,
it's just
it's got all this character to it that
Mhm.
in the I don't know, the computer designed cameras of today, just and really anything.
Take all the character out of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
So-
at the 220. Look at the T, the cap of the T.
Mhm.
That font, right? That's what it's beautiful.
It is.
Just so
think-
the 8 and the 8 millimeter, right? How
Yeah.
elongated it is.
It's cursive. We don't use cursive anymore.
Well, is that even cursive? Yeah, I guess it is
Yeah.
cursive.
Yeah. But how much of this label do you see on your on the
Oh.
actual piece?
None.
None. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
You don't see
No.
any of it. Where's it at on there? Is it between the 2 boxes or?
Let's see, I'm trying to figure out here where these pieces are. Okay, well, that's just the main case, right? That's just the
I don't know.
that's just this case.
Hold on. Put you up.
I think.
So
Isn't
let's
that
see.
the case right here? I'm trying to figure it out because it doesn't quite look the same. Can you go back to the picture? Let me take a look.
Where's there's the knob. Okay, that's the knob that is on the side, right?
Yeah, but go back to it. It doesn't look the same.
No. Well, like I said, the silver one is the correct one.
I can't place any of those pieces, Chris.
No. I don't.
Oh, well, okay, wait a second. Oh, okay, now I'm placing that. So that's inside this housing. Is that knob that you were showing is inside this housing here? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
The knob is black.
Right.
This has a housing around it.
Oh, so you don't even use the case to this? This
The case doesn't
220?
look the same at all. No.
You don't use any of that case?
Is it just the knob that's being used?
I don't know.
Go back to your picture. Let me take a look because I'm looking for the rest of these parts and I'm not seeing anything from
Nothing? No, this is the main body you have right there, right?
Yeah, that matches. That body matches.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if that piece is all you're getting from it is the knob and it's the wrong color. It's reversed.
Yeah, that's it.
Knob is black and
The most common one is the red.
of course, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the black is semi, and then the silver or gray is the correct one. Which, I mean, if you just paint the knob, I mean,
See, you need to fix that in you. That is wrong.
I get it's wrong, but if it takes me 5 years to find a silver thing that is exactly the same as the black thing, like,
So if you were building a model, okay,
yeah,
and it called for a very specific, wheel hub or a very specific gun from a specific kit, and would you just say, "Oh, I don't have that kit, but I have this thing from this other kit that's really, really close. I'm going to use that instead." Would you say that?
I have an answer for you. Okay, so a little bit ago, so when I'm on my Sandcrawler, everything outside is model kits. I don't care how much it costs me. I don't care what it is. It is the model kit. It is not a cast. It is not a 3D print. It is not everything outside is completely scratch built.
Okay.
Okay. But so now I've kind of gotten to the point where, okay, and my Slave 1, which I'm going to do, is going to be all model kits. But going forward on other kits that I'm doing, like scratch built things, I'm not adverse to, like, if there's 10 of one part, I don't want to buy 10 model kits that cost me $100 each. Like, I'm okay with having one and then casting it. Okay. It's kind of where I've gotten, and it's taken me a little bit, but it also has my wallet has forced me into that situation as well. So, and the scarcity of some of these model kits that are starting to become more scarce.
Right. It bothers you a little bit though, doesn't it?
It does while I'm building it, but once it's built, it doesn't bother me nearly as much as I would think.
What I'm reacting to is to totally just paint it. It'll be fine. That's
Well,
what I'm reacting to.
okay, but look at it. All right. It's just you're only using this little knob. Okay.
think that's all you're
Inside of this other knob. Okay. And all you like you just paint that silver. Like why does it matter?
Oh man. Oh,
It's the same model. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's just okay. Let's take the Jawa blaster, for example. Okay. You know how it has the power pack at the end?
mm-hmm.
There's a very specific design on it. Okay. And I've seen it's a carved horn flask, okay, gunpowder flask. And I've seen ones that look almost like it. Same
Yeah.
shape, same shape.
That's very different, right? So those are horn flasks from the 1800s
Yes.
that were not really mass produced necessarily. There was
Right.
probably a lot of hand carving involved in them.
But I have seen a lot of one specific kind.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But you
But I
probably
haven't-
can't get the exact. If the exact one doesn't exist, it wasn't mass produced. It was kind of like a few of a kind sort of thing.
Right.
Those are the compromises you make because you have to.
Right.
Okay. Whereas a knob, if they're available, they're out there. They were mass produced. You should strive for perfection and never be satisfied with something close.
But if I never find it,
I have no problem with the stand-in. Okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna get this knob. I'm gonna put
Right.
it in there as a
Right.
stand-in, right? Like with my detention bay camera, right?
Yeah.
I have the multicolored, the light blue and the dark blue.
Mhm.
It bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for. The problem is, I haven't been able to find reasonably priced all blue ones, right?
Yeah.
It bothers me. I'm not like whatever. It bothers me a lot, and if I could get them reasonably priced from somewhere, because there's 6 of them, I
Right.
will eventually get them.
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied. Yeah.
I was talking to Jason the other day, and I'm like, he's like, do you have a problem with placeholders until you find the real
No.
complete deal? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like if I built this, right, which I'm going to, and I put this black one in, right, and a silver one comes along, I have no problem buying it and replacing it. That doesn't bother me. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like until I find the real one, it's gonna bother me more that it's sitting there not finished
Sure.
than if I just paint the thing silver.
Yeah.
It's gonna bother me way more.
Yeah. I bought the reproduction pouch for the side of Luke's belt.
Right.
But
Right.
my intent is to replace that once I can
Yeah.
find a.
Once you find it, you're gonna nail it, right?
Right.
So
But
Yeah.
I've literally been watching a search on eBay for like 3 freaking years.
right, exactly.
It's so
So
ridiculous.
yeah.
Uh,
But like okay, take the Haas scanner for example. Like I said, I found a green one. I found 2 green ones, okay, from India. The guy sending it to me right now. And I'm gonna paint one of the green ones. Okay. And I'm gonna use that one. If I ever come across a red one, I'll switch it out. You
Mhm.
know, so yeah.
that's cool. Right.
Yeah, but
But none of this, just paint it nonsense.
no, not just paint it and leave it. Paint it and you keep it there until I
Alright,
find the real thing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
What I do, what would really bother me is like the Boba Fett blaster. You know, like
Which
the-
one?
the Webley.
Okay. Yeah.
I realize it's expensive and I realize it's hard to come by, but I don't know that I would, because you'd have to totally rebuild the whole thing. Like it's a whole totally
Yeah.
different thing.
And the problem with that that blaster overall is you can tell when you pick it up. You can,
Yeah.
There's a flex to it.
Yeah.
That's because it's
Resin.
it's not a real
Right.
piece. Oh yeah, when I pick it up, it drives me nuts. It
Yeah.
drives me nuts. I got to get that Webley, but,
Yeah.
but I just haven't gone and done the search for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. I've only been looking for a couple weeks, and I haven't seen one either. But like, there's a Webley that is a Bosk rifle that I've seen that I would like to do.
Boss, they were riot guns.
Yeah, riot guns.
There was a guy selling them, had like 10 of them.
Yeah, I actually contacted him, and he never wrote me back how much he wanted for one. He still has some.
So
So
this was like 10, this was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I think it's I think it's the same person, because it would the thread was a while ago, and I'm like, do you
If you're,
still?
able, if you're able to get in touch with him, and if you connect with him, let me know, because I would like to buy one.
Okay.
That's something I really regret. I had the opportunity to get it, and I didn't get it, and I've regretted it ever since.
Yeah. Well, this is a fun show, just Steve.
Yeah.
I think we can cut it here. But yeah, I want to do shows like this. I mean, I'd like to get more of a consistency show. Like 1 week is this, 1 week is this. So I'm gonna try to get that set up and start doing that more often. But it's good having you on again, brother.
Yeah, I haven't been on a show.
No, in a while.
I don't know.
Christmas, but the Christmas special. But before that, it's been longer.
Yeah, it's been probably 6 months or something like that.
Yeah,
it's been nice to just kind of not have to be responsible for anything, not have the grind, of it has to be every week, or every other.
No, it's understandable. It's understandable. It does, coming up with this stuff kind of is daunting a little bit sometimes. It's because you don't want to just get on and bore the shit out of people, but this was good. I'm glad you came on, and
thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on. Like I said, I want to do more. I'm gonna, obviously the models are primary, but I want to do these two, and I don't know what's coming up next, because I have to get some people, get in touch with some people, try to get some guests on. But this was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. Yep.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will I'll let you know if anything's popping up. Nothing's on the docket right now, but there will be stuff next week. I have an idea of something that to talk about. So thanks. Bye.